This is Mike O'Hearn, one of the most successful fitness icons to ever exist. He's also one of the most controversial. But who is this man? So I was pretty baffled by this guy. I spent hours combing the internet trying to understand this man. But with no clear conclusion, I decided to do my own research. But the more research I did, the more confused I became. In one video, he's giving really deep and thoughtful advice.
You stay consistent on any diet, you're gonna get progress.
And in the next, he's getting ripped apart for saying something outlandish.
Mike O'Hearn continues to go over the top, claiming to be natural.
I was going completely crazy. I was even losing sleep over this. So I decided that I had to meet him and find out for myself. The first step was simple. I just went to his page to see if he announced any public appearances. That didn't get me too far, but I did find this on Kenny KO's page.
I will be at Olympia talking to Mike.
This was perfect because I was already planning on going to the Olympia for another video. So we packed our bags and headed to Vegas. I didn't have any direct contact to Kenny, but I did know my boy Johnny Shreve was gonna meet up with him for a collab.
Mike O'Hearn, Natty.
So we met up, we had a killer workout, and if you want to check that out, his video's right here. And at the end, he said he might be able to introduce me to Kenny at the Olympia. I had already planned to do pillow fights with Olympians, and of course Johnny acted as my referee for these pillow fights.
Oh my goodness, she's aggressive.
Which was perfect for my master plan to run into Kenny. I fought my way through the Olympia. I even got my glasses knocked off by Reef and Grimes.
Oh, Kenny KO.
Now the moment had arrived. I finally came across Kenny KO. But I was so hyped from the pillow fights that I just immediately started attacking him. Through all this excitement, I really felt like I bonded with him.
I got the ass. That's all I wanted. Thank you.
So I didn't want him to feel like I was just using him to get to Mike.
I'll see you maybe.
So I ended up just not asking him. But I can tell me and him are gonna be best friends. So I went on to battle more people in hopes to just run across Mike. Unfortunately, no luck. But not all hope was lost. I still had another Hail Mary attempt to hopefully draw him out. So we're about to pretend that I am famous in Vegas. I have fans that are gonna come out of nowhere saying, oh my God, it's Raz, that's my name, Raz. And then I even have my influencer friends going to interview the bystanders of people watching, and it's gonna be fantastic.
Have you seen these shows on Netflix?
No, I haven't seen these shows, but I know my daughters have gone.
This plan was virtually flawless. I figured since Mike was a high-rolling, big-ballin', shot-calling top G, he'd be drawn if I showed him that I was too. I had the streets of Vegas swarming me. Virtually everybody believed I was somebody. Famous or not, they believed I was somebody important.
I don't know what you do, man, but you look famous, for real.
So now, I finally felt like I was ready to test that on Mike O'Hearn. The Olympia was even busier than the day before. We walked for what seemed like days. The crowd was so intense, it seemed like simply walking just wasn't gonna be enough, so I turned it up a notch. This was when I did an interview with Olympia TV. I figured if more eyes were on me, I would have some kind of validity in the eyes of Mike O'Hearn when I finally walked up to him. I asked them if they knew where he was. They had no idea, or at least that's what they told me. Maybe they were lying, I don't know. Now the next phase of my plan was a little over the top, but I had no choice. I was getting desperate.
He just said I couldn't handle it.
I'm just saying, I don't know that you can.
I'm sorry. Do you know who I am?
I mean, you look like.
Do you know? Do you know who I am?
This is Mikey P. He's my friend from American Ninja Warrior. And in the middle of the Olympia floor, he set up a Ninja Warrior course. He also happens to be a very skilled MC with a microphone and loudspeaker in hand. He agreed to announce my presence, and he let me put on a show on the course.
Our next contestant, you've seen him on TV, you've seen him in movies. A new Netflix series coming out. We got Raz. What's up, Raz? Oh, he took his loafers off for this. Wow, he's gonna do it bare feet. Should we wipe it with hand sanitizer first?
You didn't already?
It's a clear! Clear! The muscles are for real! They're working!
It definitely drew a crowd, and it was super fun, but it didn't seem to get me any closer to Mike. At this point, I'm not gonna lie, I was losing hope. The Olympia was coming to an end, and I had to accept that I had failed yet again. I got back home, and I was literally back to square one. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed, but I wasn't gonna give up.
Guys, I shit you not, I'm literally in the middle of research for this Mike O'Hearn search that I am doing. I am pressed, but you know what? I'm watching a video of somebody going over his life and just his work ethic, and I'm staring at the weights, I didn't work out today because I was so focused on doing this video. I literally, while I'm watching these videos and taking notes, I'm about to work out.
So I then decided to become a full-on stalker. I was not going to stop until I got to the bottom of the mystery that is Mike O'Hearn. I happened to see on his Instagram that he was in Hollywood, so of course I flew to California.
We hit a little snag on the way to trying to find Mike. Erica.
I saw a story of him in Beverly Hills, so of course I went to Beverly Hills.
All right, we're gonna see if Mike is in Beverly Hills. I don't know, maybe Mike's here. Let's go.
With no luck there, I checked his Instagram again. I see that he's in Santa Monica on a boat. I decided, what the hell, let's go check it out.
All right, so I thought we'd check here to see if he's gonna be anywhere around Santa Monica Pier, because, you know, people like him come here all the time to like take off their shirt and show stuff, so let's see. Where are you, Mike?
Guess he's not here.
Have y'all seen Mike? I don't know English. Where are you, Mike? Right here! Oh, shoot. I'm gonna go now. Yeah, bye. I guess he's not here. He's nowhere to be found.
Thought maybe he'd be at Venice Beach. I have not seen him anywhere.
There was no updates for a few days, but then I checked, and now he's in Hawaii. And I came too far at this point not to continue to follow him. So of course, we went to Hawaii.
Mike! 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 Mike, where are you? You gotta be around here somewhere. Mike!
Although that trip to Hawaii was amazing, it seemed like I just wasn't a very good stalker. I failed yet again. I realized that I may never get to discover the truth behind who he really is. Weeks went by, and I was slowly getting over my heartbreak. And one day, as I was scrolling, I came across Mike, as usual. But this time, he was at my friend Kevin's gym, and that is only about an hour away from my house. So I literally thought I was hallucinating, because at that point I had been seeing Mike in almost everything. So I immediately texted my friend Kevin to see if I could potentially get an interview with him. After waiting anxiously, he finally texted back. I just couldn't believe it. After months of research and losing sleep and traveling all around the world and back, I could finally get an interview with Mike O'Hearn and uncover the mystery of this man.
I'm gonna go right into this because the people wanna know how to get in shape. So if you were to get in the body of somebody who is overweight, what would be the first thing you would do with your knowledge to get in shape?
Decide on the goal and why you're doing it.
I was like, okay, this seems reasonable. So let's say this person just wanted to be better for their family, like...
Don't do it.
I remember thinking right here, it was like, is this where it goes downhill? Okay, why not?
Because you can't do it for somebody else. It does not work. You cannot do it solely for the purpose of other people. It has to root inside of you. Has to.
All right, guess not.
It comes from you going, I need to be a better person for them.
I really like that answer. That makes sense.
One thing that I've noticed, listen, I've been here for 45 years doing this in the magazines, and the one thing that you talk to the journeymen, the men that have not done it for a year,
right,
10 years, 20 years, but 40 years, they realize that it's got to be rooted inside of them because of the heartbreaks, losing somebody, the no money for a moment, the breakups. Those are the moments that the guy that does it for a lifetime continues to do it. Now, if it's solely for the other thing and outside of your own realm, it's a tough thing to maintain and do it over and over and over again.
And so that actually segues me into my next question perfectly. With all the downsides that might lead someone else into their motivation, what is your motivation? So with being in TV, movies, having your podcast and your business, what is it your driving force to be great and be in the position that you're in today?
It's the desire, that voice in my head saying, I got to keep moving, I got to keep working, I got to get better, I got to continue to get better. We talked about this, the dark moments and the willingness to get up and keep fighting in those dark moments. It's such a cool thing, and it changes you as a person.
This seems to be a common factor with a lot of people who are hyper successful. It's not anything materialistic that's driving them. Usually it's something within them to not let them be less than themselves.
And I wish that more people would go, okay, I need to love myself, I need to keep working on myself, I need to keep better. We got one life. How do you not want to wake up and be motivated for yourself to do the best you can, and then that motivates everybody? It's got to be rooted inside of you. And we were talking about this. I was on set with these guys that have been in the industry for 30 years, and I don't do it for the money. I didn't do it for the fame, and that's why I still do it today. Because the money and fame thing is, first of all, it doesn't come easy, and if it does come easy, you don't appreciate it. Just keep doing this for yourself.
It's so back and forth. Some days you're up and some days you're down.
But I'm doing a movie right now, and I'm enjoying life, and I'm traveling. I guess suppose next weekend, the weekend after that, stay calm and cool, because this is going to end, and you're going to have a dark side, and don't fall too deep. You'll get back up and keep going.
And in the creator space, it's similar. So hyper fixating on the highs will make the lows a little bit worse, because I can tell you when I get 50 million views on a video, if I attach myself and my worth to that, I'll feel the decline so heavily. So when he says stay cool and stay calm, it means keep a level head even when things are great, because you just never know when the next down is.
I got to ask you a question then. Sure. So you do an interview and you're like, oh, you feel it in your soul. This is gold. And you put that up and it gets tanked, does nothing. And then you put up something else that you didn't feel it. It didn't do anything for you and it blows up. What does that do to you?
What it used to do is it made me feel like, oh, why don't people like this content? Why are people not vibing with this? I put so much work into this other piece and this nothing piece did so well. That's what I used to think. Now I realize that it's my fault.
What's your fault?
If any piece of content that I post didn't do well, I missed somewhere. I didn't put enough creativity on it. I didn't put enough heart into it. I didn't edit it well enough. It was on me.
Disagree 100%.
See, this is where the dirt is.
Disagree?
100%.
Let's do it.
You said you felt something in your soul. It doesn't matter if they like it.
Right.
You loved it. It can get one view. It shouldn't matter. It's not about getting views. It's about moving you. And that's the thing that we were just talking about. And that's what I'm taking about acting. This guy over here or the projects I've done, when it's in my soul and I loved it, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. And then I'll do something else where it's a gladiator and I kick somebody's ass and all that and the world loves it. I'm like, all right, cool, I'm glad you guys like it. But this is why I'm here. The freaking one view from the one person about something I believed in my soul should mean more to you because it moved you. And that's all this is about.
Oh, so maybe I misunderstood. Okay, so I think
you see my point?
Honestly, I do. And so when I was referring to that, I mean, you shouldn't get mad at the algorithm or the audience for not liking something. That's what I was really going for. I don't disagree with that. You should be passionate. And if you stand behind something and if it only touched 10 people, you should be passionate behind that.
So right here in this moment, I was thinking about asking him the famous question, of course.
So is the legend, the Titan, still natty?
Well,
now I could get a massively viral moment here, but I'm next to an extremely successful person across so many facets of life. I decided I'd rather learn and share positivity than feed into more of the garbage, you know?
You seem genuinely lively and passionate still about everything you talk about in the interviews that I've seen of you and right now just in experiencing you in person. What makes you happy? Why do you feel like you're able to be so happy?
Mona, because this next 2 weeks is amazing because there's a guy here, Jonathan Sheck, The Thing You Do, and so many other movies. We're friends in 1990, 2 kids modeling, Gold's Gym Venice, and we were friends 33 years ago. And these 2 weeks, I'm on set with him filming 33 years later. Now that may not make any sense to a 20-year-old kid, but imagine that the only reason we're still here today is because we love this stuff so much and the friendship that we built. Can you imagine having a friendship for 33 years through the ups and downs in life? And he calls me up and goes, dude, I'm now at the position where I'm hiring my friends for this project and I'm on set with my boy and I'm like, holy it's surreal. But that's my whole life. It's like, if you're doing it seriously from you and it just burns in you and you wake up and you go, I freaking love this and I get to work out. Not I have to work out. I get to work out. I have healthy shoulders, a healthy hips, and I get to do this. And now I'm on set throwing and kicking people's asses with one of my closest friends of 3 decades.
Right.
How do you not love life and go, wow, I stayed in the grind and this kind of stuff is happening?
I couldn't agree more. The cameraman's my friend of 18 years now, and I'm able to bring him along on the journey just because honestly, it's amazing. Like I felt what you were saying because it's the truth.
You guys are driving in the car over here, hanging together.
Yeah.
It's a deep-rooted friendship. At the end of the day, with this long journey that we have, if you can have some friends you can cry with and hang with and celebrate with, you're gold.
We passed each other the same $20 for like 3 years when we were super broke. It was like literally like I'd be like, yo, can I borrow that? And then next year, yeah, can I borrow that?
But it's the low time.
And that's what makes it special, man, because when I deposited a check with my brother, we shared an account and it was a negative account going into a negative account 4 or 5 years ago. That made these moments more special because I'm not like by any means like crazy successful, but I'm successful in my own right because I'm no longer dealing with some of the stuff I used to. And that's happy. If you can recognize the dark, you can't be unhappy. If you can see, you know what I mean? That's how I feel.
Now, whatever we look for, we'll tend to find. Our mind takes whatever we focus on most and kind of filters out our surroundings and retains and presents us with whatever we ask for. For instance, if we're anti anything controversial, if we let it consume us, we'll most likely hear and see things that'll just validate how we feel already. But if we focus on self-improvement, health, wellness, family, positivity, then we'll most likely get presented with exactly that. It's beautiful, actually.
I'm 100% with you. And then,
yeah, this was great.
You're gold. You're gold.
This is great. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, man. You're great, kiddo. Appreciate it.
Love it.